Hello and welcome. So you're trying to buy a house. You have the money, you have the down payment. You have good credit, right? You even have the pre-approval letter. You're pre-approved for the entire amount and then some. You put your offer in play. And guess what happens? You're rejected. You're done. Your offer is not accepted, right? What happened here? What happened here, folks? Why is this happening? Because there's some other fool who wants to overbid you and is willing to pay 30, 40, 50, whatever it takes to get that house because they have FOMO, because they're not smart, but you are smart. And your agent is not able to explain to you what's really going on. They give you a wishy-washy story and you keep putting in these offers, but the offers keep getting rejected over and over and over again. It's frustrating, folks. And I've been there. Today I'm going to help you guys out, give you an investor's perspective, because investors are different, folks. Investors oversee the umbrella of everything that happens, from realtor to broker to the real estate agent to the title agency. We have purview to all of that. We have many realtors working with us. This is not your usual economy. We have a 40-year high inflation ever in the past 4 decades that U.S. has ever seen. Gas prices are over $5 a gallon. Demand is super high and supply is short because builders are catching up, but they're far behind. You're in a seller's market. I've been saying this for a long time. They're the chooser. They get to choose who they give their property to, and the sellers know that. So please understand your position, because if you understand your position, you can win the battle. You have a chance to win the battle. So in this video today, I'm going to provide you with some insights that will help you succeed in your offer, and hopefully your offer will get accepted, okay? Because I've been there, done that quite a few times. I'm not just speaking from research, I'm speaking from experience. I have all these bruises, okay, of rejections all over me. Believe me, I've been there more than you can think. It doesn't look like I've been rejected too many times, but I have, okay? Let's just leave it at that. We're not going to go any further. So if you're here for that reason, stick around to learn more. So here are some tips that will make your life easy. And not only that, I will tell you some stories and scenarios that I personally have come across that will also help you understand how the game is played, folks. This is the game. And if you want to win, you have to play the game. Before you even get started with anything and go look for houses, you need to first pick the right real estate agent, folks. That's important. You want the captain of your ship to be a trustworthy person, your trusted advisor who can give you the right advice. And how you find this agent, there's a whole video that I've done before. Look for the first time home buyer video. And there's a lot of videos out there how to pick the right agent. Just don't watch a video that's done by a realtor himself, okay? Don't do that. But find the good agent, someone you can trust, someone who's been there, someone who knows the neighborhood, right? Neighborhood is important. We're not shopping in 90210 area code, right? We're shopping in 22030 area code, for example. So they need to know that zip code. Have they sold any houses in that zip code? Have they sold the kind of house that you want? And on and on and on. So anyway, start with that. That's tip number one, folks. Start with a good, solid realtor who has good reputation, who's realistic, is not BSing you, who's hungry, who wants to get things done, and who wants your business. You know, in this day and age, realtors, there's too many realtors. There's more realtors than houses. So you should be able to find a good realtor, okay? If you don't, drop me a line at askakhow@gmail.com. I'll find you one, okay? How about that? Number two, obvious one, have a strong portfolio, folks. What do I mean by that? You know, have a good profile in terms of your credit, your pre-approval letter, okay? Your assets. If you don't have much money, okay? You know, you're not putting down too much, that's fine. But you may have some assets, some jewelry, some cars, some land, whatever that may be, you know. List out your assets in your application so you can get approved, okay? So have the pre-approval letter, have a good credit, okay? If you don't have good credit, you may want to take a step back and improve your credit, okay? That's important. Credit, you know, is a factor, okay? So have a good portfolio so your offer looks solidified and a robust offer. Because if you want to give your house, you're the seller, you want to give your house to somebody who has a robust, strong portfolio. So you want to be that person. So it's your job to figure out how can you have a strong portfolio? How can your case, your business case to buy the house looks strong, okay? Now, one element that I don't see any YouTuber talking about is the FSBOs, folks. You want to buy a house these days, a lot of homeowners are selling houses. A lot of homeowners selling houses, they're called FSBOs as an FSBO. So go look for those. A lot of A lot of sellers don't want to deal with, shady realtors and so on and so forth. Not to say everybody's shady, but, a lot of them are shady. And I'll play a funny clip from Ken McElroy. Talks about what he thinks of realtors. So it's not me saying it, it's him saying it, okay?
You don't need anybody. No. Realtors are generally idiots. I'm telling you. It's just the truth. They're working for tips and they just get listings.
Here's the clip, by the way. Look for FSBOs. Look for people who are for sale by owners. You may have to drive around and ask some people, if anybody's selling a house here in the neighborhood of your choice, right? And then you may find some people. You'd be surprised, And I used to go and jog around in a neighborhood a long time ago, and I found a house, and I saw this house with grass all grown, right? And the mailbox was stuffed with mail, and I could tell somebody's not been here in a while. So I called the county and found out that this person was in default. Long story short, I got in touch with her daughter. Daughter talked to the mother. She was sick somewhere in a different state. Sold the house to me for $30,000 less price, the market value. So look for those opportunities. Be creative. You're not going to just find a house where everybody is. If everybody gets up 9 in the morning and hits the rush hour, you're going to be stuck in traffic. Don't be in that rush hour. Don't go where everybody's going. Go where nobody's going, and you have a better chance of winning. Another one that's a trend these days is writing a letter to the seller. And in those letters, people put a realistic story. They paint a picture, a dramatic picture, as if, I love this neighborhood. I have kids who want to go to school here. I have friends. My kids have friends here. I've lived here when I was a child, and vice versa. And you can make up a story that you like. But sometimes sellers read those letters, and you want to be the person giving them the letter and going above and beyond, explaining why you think you're the best person for this house. So you want to go above beyond money and all those things to show them who you are, how you contribute to the community. Why would you be a better fit for this neighborhood? So you want to present your case like that. And the letter works sometimes, because not everybody's motivated by money. But most sellers in this market are looking for cha-ching, folks. They just want some money. You can't blame them. It's their time to make their money. Another option is escalating clause. Escalating clause, fancy language for just putting a clause in your contract and letting them know that, look, we are willing to go up to this price and beat anybody by a few $1,000s. Sometimes sellers like that. Why? Because they're like, oh, this person is willing to beat any other offer by a few $1,000s. So maybe I want to go with this one, right? Also, you can put some extra earnest money deposit, right? But think about it, right? If you were them and somebody gives you a $10,000 check versus a $30,000 check, who do you think is the strongest buyer? Even if the prices they're bidding are the same. I would take that $30,000 because they're willing to put their $30,000 money on the line to buy my house. This person is strong. They got cash, especially if everything else checks out, right? So use earnest money as to your advantage. Why do you have to worry about it? Like, show them your cards right up front because you don't have time. You don't get 2, 3, 4, 5 chances. You don't want to play the game of back and forth in this market. I'm telling you this, folks. You don't want to play that game because you will lose. I've tried that before. Another way to charm the seller is to tell them, look, if you don't have a house, and if you want to live in the house and rent back from us for a month or 2 months, we're happy to do that, for free at no cost because your next month's payment is not due till a couple of months. So offer them your letter, okay? Put that in there as a headline, okay? We're flexible. We can escalate money. We can beat other offers by a few thousand. And, oh, by the way, you can rent the house back from us if you need time to move. And if you need help with moving, we can help you with moving too. Maybe you want to pay them for their moving expenses. Again, you're charming the seller, going above and beyond, right? You want to go above and beyond, charm the seller, try to sell them something. Now, a lot of people are throwing in cash offers. If you do have the cash, offer cash. They don't know the difference in cash versus money comes from the bank. But the idea is like cash offer means like you have money available. There's some companies that can convert your loan into cash or at least have money in the bank ready for you to execute. People like that. People like having funds in the bank, seeing the bank statements. Okay, the cash is available. And also, along with that, it's not just about cash, it's about closing quickly. Speed is the name of the game, folks, these days. Okay, if you can close quickly and you have a $30,000 earnest money deposit check and you can close in a week, I'll go with you. I'll take my chances with you. Versus somebody's giving me a $10,000 earnest money deposit. Think about it, right? And they have to close in 45 days. Who wants to wait for 45 days? Who knows where the market's going to be in 45 days? Why should I wait? Next up is asking your agent to be proactive and asking the seller. What is their motivation to sell? Are they motivated by just money, by making, $200,000, $300,000, or $400,000 profit? Is their motivation finding the right fit for the community? Is their motivation somebody who's flexible, can rent them back the house? What is their motivation? That's very important, folks. So you have to find that motivation because that can give you a leverage, okay? And again, last but not least, speed is the name of the game. Chop, chop. Do it now. Tell your realtor, call them every day. Twice a day if you have to. Don't sit on the offer, okay? And sometimes, folks, I've also seen, it's a true story with me, sometimes you want to put an offer $20,000, $30,000 above the asking price to begin with, okay? But you want to put a timeline on it. You want to say the offer stands till the end of the weekend. Make up your mind. So I was offered a lot of money for one of my properties, and one of the buyers said to me, I'm giving you 50 grand over asking price, AK. I wasn't even expecting that, but the offer is good till Friday. Well, I was like, wow, this guy's serious. And a $30,000 check, right? So I had the check and the offer, and he's ready to close. Guess who I went with? I had other offers as well, but they weren't starting with that 30,000 above. They weren't starting with that. They were trying to play that game with me, give me like, 650, then 660, then 670. You can't do that in this market, folks. You can't play that game. There's no back and forth. There's in or out, okay? That's where you're getting rejected because you're playing that game. Your realtor thinks they're too smart. They're playing that game, right? Forget about all those games. Show your cards up front, make a deal, and move on, okay? Even if you pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 extra, who cares, man? You can make it up, It's not, people get so hung up on this rates thing, right? Oh my God, the rates are going to increase. So freaking what? So what? People used to pay 6%, nobody complained. So why are you complaining at 4% now? So please don't complain. Complaining is for losers, okay? You're not a loser. You're my subscriber. So don't complain. Execute the tips I'm telling you, and you'll come out on top. Another one is to give incentives. Whatever incentives you can, maybe pay for closing costs. A lot of sellers are not paying closing costs these days. It's not unusual. You can pick up at least half the tab or full tab of closing costs. So what if it's $5,000, $10,000 extra from your pocket? No big deal. You get the house, you'll get equity, your house will keep going up at least for the next year or two. You'll make it up, okay? So don't worry about all that. Don't worry about the small stuff. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish is what they say in UK, right? So there you have it, folks. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish, right? You want to be ahead of the game. You want to win the game at the first draw, okay? Now, the last one, which I'm not a fan of, folks, but a lot of people do this, is they waive the inspection. This is a bit dangerous. It can come and bite you back because if there's some structural issues with the house, some foundation issues, and I've seen that, I bought a property like that. But if you're brave enough and a risk taker like myself, that may be your last resort, folks. Waive the inspection of the house, because people, if they have problems in the house and they know there's problems in the house, okay, then they might prefer you as a buyer, because they don't want to go through inspection and then find all these things out and the closing falls apart and this and that. They don't want to do that, right? But you have to play that game carefully, folks. It's a risk you want to take. I don't recommend it if you're not a seasoned person like myself. I bought a house, let me tell you a story, in Maryland a long time ago, okay? This house had every problem you can imagine, okay? There were pipes broken in the basement in the crawl space. And one day the pipe just burst and I had to rush from, Virginia to Maryland to go take care of that. The water came on the street and all kinds of stuff. And then one time, the lights went out and circuit breaker broke. Anyway, this house had all kinds of problems. But I'll tell you this, I got the house because I waived the inspection and the appraisal. I said, I don't care. It was a nice gentleman, Jack, old guy, living in that property. And I said, no, I just want the property. And my offer wasn't the highest offer. But he took it because he was concerned this is the old house, has issues. He didn't want to deal with all that. He was an old man. He just sold it to me. Once I fixed that property, it took me like 4 months, folks. I had all kinds of problems, okay? Rats, bugs, issues. I got all that cleaned up. It didn't cost me a lot of money, maybe like $5,000 or so. Everything was fixed. Since then, that property has been giving me 20% return year after year. So think about that. So look at the long picture, folks. Look at the long picture. Don't just look at 5, 10 grand here and there right now. Look at the bigger picture. Where is this going? Do you see yourself living in this house for 10, 20, 30 years, your kids growing up and so on and so forth, okay? One other knowledge bomb I want to drop you. If you don't like the realtor, fire them. Fire them immediately. Don't give them a second, third chance. If you're not happy, if you have the instinct in your heart that this realtor is not looking in my best interest, because some realtors, okay, not all, some realtors They have deals with other ones. Okay, Jack knows Jill, Jill knows Jen, and so on and so forth. They make a deal. They may sell it to someone else, not to your realtor, and vice versa. So you want to be very cautious and judicious, okay, in picking a realtor, because that's the name of the game, okay? And if you're not happy, fire the realtor if you have to, be like Donald Trump, maybe fire a few people. You might find the right person who can work with you. I find that very funny, folks, because I see Donald firing everybody in his team multiple times. Anyway, we make fun of Donald, but we like him too. So my point is this, guys, that you are the only person looking for your best interest, right? Nobody else is looking for your best interest. So if you want to succeed, you need to take the reins of house hunting in your own hands. You need to go knock on the doors. You need to go find that FSBO house, okay? You need to find homeowners who are selling. You need to put many baby signs in the community somewhere, at your mosque or at your church, and talk to people. Go above and beyond. Don't just rely on a realtor, folks. And if you do that, I promise you will find a house. Also be flexible, folks. Beggars can't always be choosers. Don't pick the biggest, brightest house in the neighborhood, okay? And maybe be flexible about the neighborhood also, okay? People are living in Carolina. Not everybody lives in New York City, okay? Or not everybody lives in the heart of the city. Okay, be a little bit flexible, okay? Because these are tough times. There's low inventory. I hope I was helpful. I want to thank you guys again for over 5,000 subscribers. Ooh, it's a big number. And I'm very happy. I do want to also drop my email down here. You're welcome to email me, folks. I'm happy to help you answer your questions, but my time is worth something. So I can't do it all for free, folks. So if you guys need my advice, consistent advice, or look at your case and analysis and paralysis, whatever you want me to do, we're going to have to pay me something for my time, and we can work something out if that's the case, okay? So I hate to say this, but I've been getting a lot of emails, wonderful people, wonderful emails, wonderful questions. But if I just do that all day long, believe me, I'll be here for all day long. I won't make any money from my own business. So I'm humbled by all your interest and your questions. I'm glad you're finding answers helpful. It's like over 20,000 or so community of people who I engage with. I can't keep up with all of those people. It's just me. I edit the videos, I make the videos, I set up the lights, everything is me, folks. So if you want my consulting services, I'd be happy to help you, but at a cost. If you have a one-off question, by all means, I'm happy to answer. If you want me to look up a neighborhood, I love doing this, I can do that too. I can make it part of my video. Anyway, with that, I want to end the video. I want to tell you guys again one last time, take the reins of house hunting in your hands. You are the boss, okay, as I say that. You're the boss, okay? Work on your credit, solidify your portfolio. You'll come out on top, folks. So I wish you the best of luck until my next video. I love you all and have a fantastic day. Bye now.